Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me for another broadcast of God's podcast. I'm your host, God is Gracious. My subject today is Pride Comes Before a Fall. Pride comes before a fall. This comes from Proverbs 16:18, which reads, Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. This is one of the key principles that run throughout the arc of Scripture. Jesus himself taught the point often as he saw in his own day the religious pride of the Pharisees and Jewish elite. He pointed it out to his disciples every chance he got. Paul chastened the Corinthians for taking pride in the people they were associated with, asking them, "What do you have to do? What do you have that you did not receive? And if you received it, why do you boast as though you did not?" Jesus told his followers and all who would listen that they should always take the lowest place. It is better to be asked to move up towards the head of the table than to be told to move down because someone more important has arrived. The only remedy for pride is humility, which is impossible to attain by which is impossible to attain by focusing on it. Instead, fix your eyes on God, who is truly marvelous, and you will see for yourself, and you will see yourself rightly. Leave thinking about yourself to others and to God. So let's take a quick look at the three key parts of Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. Number one, pride. It is hard to calculate all the evil that has been caused by the destructive tendency that humans have toward pridefulness. Even in the heavenly realm, it was pride that caused Satan, once the most beautiful and exalted angels of light, to convert the greatness of God, to covet the greatness of God and the worship he received. Satan rebelled because of his pride. Pride is the main reason why people do not believe in and worship God. The temptation to be one's own God and worship oneself as an idol is very great for the fallen human race. Number one was pride. Number two, goes before destruction. Again, pride, number two, goes before destruction. For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. This warning could not be any clearer. A sure path to destruction is exalting oneself in pride. Countless stories are told today about men and women who thought too highly of themselves and began to consider themselves above laws and norms until everything finally came crashing down around them. Pride is so deceptive because it promises the world, but it does not deliver. Again, number one, pride. Number two, goes before destruction. And lastly, number three, a haughty spirit before a fall. A haughty spirit before a fall. A haughty spirit can be seen in the rich and powerful, but it can also appear in the poor and lowly. This can sometimes go unrecognized because of the low status, but it would be seen in the bitter resentment as the person of low station will seethe at the misfortune and injustice that have led him or her to this low position. It is the certainty that they should be elevated that comes from pride. So again, this has been a brief broadcast of God's podcast. I'm your host, God is Gracious. And as always, until next time, you, your family members, and friends be blessed. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And again, thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.